Now we go to the live questions. So Pablo, one of the first questions of today. Okay, now. Okay, 10 principles. Look, the 10 principles, this will be an extra Q&A session only for them. Daufatziran, I give my word, I do this because it's a very good question that you asked this. I know you already have knowledge about the 10 principles, but I think also your mind and behind your question is that other people also know about it. So we will do a session, it will go about an hour. That's why I don't take it to this episode now, yeah, and to this season. We will do one season only for the 10 principles, and then this will be 10 videos maybe. So 10 episodes concerning only for that. Therefore, I don't go into that right now. It would be it doesn't matter how short I try to do it, it would be too long, yeah, for this session. Because about the 10 principles, I'm really very serious about it. This doesn't mean that I'm not serious about other questions, but this question is not easy to answer in short sentences to me. That's why I will do an extra, maybe it's the next Wednesday or maybe from China I will do it, just a session only for the 10 principles, and then we have for every principle one video ready and everybody can use it. So your other question is 3 types of meditation. Very good. Lock the Monkey, MountainLake, and 7 levels. The first you know a little bit about, the second and the third. Good. So only in short sentences, yeah, this is also a very serious thing. Maybe I will go into that more in future, also with longer sessions. So Lock the Monkey, we know it's mind thing. First it goes about knowing that the mind has no limits. You can call it mind control. And then it goes into the willpower. Knowing that the will doesn't have any limitations, understanding it and then bringing it. Yeah. So this is the first Lock the Monkey meditation. It goes, it has 3 different parts. Yeah. I don't go too much into that now. Also, you said you know also a little bit about it. But the second and the third, like MountainLake meditation and the 7 levels of consciousnesses, or the 7 consciousnesses. So MountainLake meditation, there's also a third, a fourth meditation system. What we teach is the opening the 3 heavenly gates meditation, starting from the Mingmen, going to Shenzhou, and then going to Yuzhen Point. So that meditation aside, now if I talk about the MountainLake meditation, this is also called Yin Yang Da Zuo, or Dao Jiao Yin Yang Jing Zuo. So it's about Yin Yang, MountainLake. This goes along the practice of the red sand palm system. So this meditation is not open for everyone. It's not a public thing what I teach, because it goes heavily into soul travel practices, starting within your own body, travel within your own reality, and then going into realities what we like into the astral world. That's why I don't go much into that now publicly, but just in short sentences, what's it about? Like our red sand palm system has different parts. One is the physical training, hardening of the hand, hardening of the body. Then we have the Qigong set. This has also 3 parts. Gathering Qi, first part. Circulating Qi, second part. And releasing Qi, the third part. And then it has also the meditation part and the diet along the meditation and along the Qigong. So the diet goes 100 days. This is the beginning. Yeah. So it's a very special diet. I have never read something similar to that in any other teaching. Yeah, it's a very special diet. It goes in first 33 days, second 33 days, and the last 34 days, or the last 33 days and the last day. So within the 33 days, you have 11 days where you always change your diet. First 11 days you can not eat that. Second 11 and third 11 days. I don't gonna talk now what it is exactly. And then the last 33 days is exactly the same way back as you started at the beginning, but the core 33 is the main diet. Yeah, the core is the main part of the diet. So the meditation is done along that diet and along the Qigong set. The meditation is about visualization. Mountain is the first part, lake is the second part. More I can't say. Yeah. So more I can't say because it would go into naturally trying it out and everything, and that meditation, especially without control of a teacher, I don't suggest publicly. Yeah. Okay. Then I think this was third question. Let me see. Oh yeah, the third meditation, 7 consciousnesses. This is a very well-known meditation practice of the Taoist school of Jingyi Pai, taught by Master Tang Lilong. The first time he taught this openly to the public in 2008 in Berlin. 2008 it was, I think, in Berlin. And this goes in 7 different parts. We believe that the human being and the self has 7 different levels of knowing itself. Yeah, that the self has 7 different levels or grades of knowing itself. So, guys, you can just go through, no problem. Everything open. You can also talk with the normal voice. Yeah, it's absolutely no problem. Just don't kick off this light. Yeah, like Chen. Okay, so the meditation symbolically shows us when you sit there and meditate, you have also 7 parts, and within these 7 parts, symbolically you remember these 7 levels of consciousness. In fact, consciousness is one. There is no 7 different consciousnesses. The consciousness is one, and this is the Tao consciousness, the main consciousness of Tao. But every being, not only humans, every being are in different states of this one consciousness. And when we talk about human beings, the human beings are all together. Every person knows himself up to a grade, up to a level of this one consciousness. And that is what we call the 7 levels. Yeah? So, very in short terms, with the words of Zhuangzi, he divided these levels in different immortality levels, and also levels of holiness, and then be prior to be Xianren, for example, into different levels. So the first level is Mengren. Mengren means the dreaming person. So this is basically the person who is in the matrix, yeah, and knows just the matrix and knows nothing else than the matrix exists. This is the dreaming man, yeah. So this is the first consciousness. So that's why in Chinese it's also called Mengren. This we have also in other cultures. In Sufism we have this too. Yeah, Nefsi and Mare, for example, is the name in Sufism for the first consciousness, and this is not referred as the dreaming man, but it's referred as the person, like the self who orders, who gives you orders. So means you're a slave of your ego, basically. This is the first level. And in the meditation, we are remembering that level. So the second, Junzi, in Chinese, Junzi, is the noble one. Yeah, the noble one. This is the second consciousness, or the second grade of knowing yourself, knowing this one consciousness, and it goes into how to or let's say, it goes into that you suddenly start thinking that what I can see and what I touch is not everything. There is something behind that, beyond that. And me as a person and as a physical body is not all of me. That what I see here is not all of me. There are levels of myself going beyond physics, beyond this physical body. And the person who starts think like this means basically he starts think, okay, there must be a soul, there must be a spirit. That person is considered in living the second consciousness level. The third consciousness is Juren. Now Juren gives two. One is prior to immortality. Second one is after immortality. Yeah? Just go through, no problem. So the first one is the third consciousness. Juren means the one with wisdom. This guy started somehow to receive some wisdom from somewhere. He doesn't know from where. But prior to that, he just knows things from the books and knows things what the people teach him. That's why a dreaming person, it's so difficult for this person to get along or alive with all the spiritual stuff because he didn't read it much, and the scientists maybe back then, now the scientists know that there is something else than only that what you can touch, of course, yeah. But back then, the scientists said, okay, there's only things what you can touch and what you can, measure. But there are millions of things what you can't measure, but they still exist. We know that. Yeah. So the person who starts believing in that there are things that you can't measure, but they're existent, like they exist, then they are considered as people in the second consciousness. So the third consciousness guy is the guy who had that much belief and trust that some things opened up for him. Some things open up in his mind, so he gets some information what other people don't get. He gets information from, let's say, past immortals, from future immortals, and from now immortals. Or he gets information from angels or from demons or from, all that kind of energies, like good or bad. And getting this information, this person at the beginning can't differ from where this comes. Does it come from an angel, from a demon, from an immortal, whatever? But how this happened? This happened through belief that there is more than what we already know. Then the mind will come after, because the mind and the consciousness is not ready to get these things if the belief is not there. Like, if I don't believe behind this door is something, I would never go there. If I say behind this door there is nothing, because I can't hear anything, I can't feel anything, yeah, and nobody went there. So if I don't have the belief that there is something, I will never go there. So my consciousness and my mind, my E, will never witness. But the third consciousness guy has witnessed. This is the difference between 1 and 3 and 2 and 3. Yeah? So until here, from 1, 2 and 3, we are all the same, in the same boat. The one guy knows more and the other guy knows less, but we are the same. There are no special skills, there are no special, let's say, view, power. It's just receiving. The third consciousness guy receives more than the first one, and also the second one. Yeah? So, going further, if this state and if this, let's say, reality goes into the extreme, that even the guy himself thinks, oh man, this is a little bit too crazy, but he still goes into that, then something can happen. This is called trust. And gravity appears, that this person becomes not anymore a guy of fear, a guy of this world. He lives in this world, but he is called Xianren, means holy. Why? Because nothing of this world can stop this guy from his way, stop this guy from his path of enlightenment, and nothing on earth can influence this guy anymore. That's why I call this guy not from this earth. All other people, first consciousness, second and third, they are easy to affect, easy to influence from the media, from the world, from everything what's happening around him, from his friends. But this guy who is in the fourth consciousness, he is called Xianren, and officially here is a big, big border between the first three and what comes after. Because this guy now is influenced by the astral realities. It's not that what we know from here, from this world. Yeah? This is the fourth consciousness. So then, if that goes into the extreme, now, the power of the fourth consciousness guy is solid wisdom, solid knowledge. Because of his true trust and his research. If this goes into the extreme, and the guy has one quality, because there are not a lot of, but there are Xianren more on this earth than Shengren, which is the fifth consciousness. In, let's say, 100,000 Xianren, there are maybe not more than 3,000 to 4,000 Shengren. And from this 3,000 to 4,000 Shengren, officially, people who has special tasks, there's only 36 up to 48. So from 100,000 Xianren, holy people on this earth, only 36 up to 48 maximum, they're given special tasks on this earth to do things on this earth. Yeah. So why so tiny less? If there are more than 100,000 holy people on this earth, why only up to 48 people maximum? Because these 48 people, or 36, or 40 people, or 42 people, whatever, they have one quality that the others don't have, and this quality is acceptance. This quality is to receive and be like the nature. That's why Lao Tzu compares the Shengren always to the water. Go with the flow, take what comes to you, and don't refuse. The quality of the holy man of the fourth consciousness is to refuse, because he just closed himself to this world and opens himself to the astral world, and closes totally himself for everything what comes from this world. So therefore, if you meet this kind of a holy guy, he basically has an expression of, I have my thing, thank you, like this. But if you meet a guy who is further than that, if you meet a holy guy who already is the Shengren, means the fifth consciousness, he receives you with open arms, and he is the guy who accepts everything what comes at him. This is the quality what the others don't have. So this is the fifth consciousness. Now from here again there's a big border and goes into immortality now. The sixth consciousness means a person who knows himself to the sixth grade, into the deep self. So this guy becomes an immortal. So all the people before, there are no immortals. Everything before is holy. A holy man is a holy man, but it's not an immortal, right? So therefore, going into immortality, it's a whole different reality and whole different world. You can't compare that to anything before. Yeah. The sixth consciousness it is not said that in the fifth consciousness or in the fourth consciousness, as a holy person, you don't have powers. You also have powers. But being an immortal is a whole different thing. It's not having a power like when you need it and when you should do a special task or something like this. Bring your trust together, compose yourself and make this miracle happen. It's not that. The immortal has the powers in every single move, in every single action they do. This is but what we can't see. Yeah? So this is the main difference. So a total yin is given, the total yin, yin-yang, yeah? Yin is given to the fifth consciousness holy person, to the Shengren, but a total yang is given to the sixth consciousness immortal. Yeah, this is the difference. And the seventh consciousness is the Tao consciousness itself, so means the person, the true human, Zhenren. That's why it's called true human, because he understood truly his whole self, his deepest self. This is the seventh grade or level of consciousness. Yeah? And the meditation system of the seven consciousnesses, Qi Pan Da Zuo, Dao Jiao Qi Pan Da Zuo, is bringing us through these levels, bringing us through these, let's say, states symbolically. That we, while we do the, let's say, the fourth part of the meditation, that we remember that there is something, such thing like that. If we go to the sixth consciousness, within the meditation, that we remember symbolically with what we do, with our hand motions and position, sitting position, that the soul remembers that state. Even only for a short moment, yeah, let's say for a couple of minutes, but it's just a thing to remember symbolically that there are other realities than what we normally know in daily life. So, Pablo, I hope this was a good answer for the seven consciousness meditation and for the MountainLake meditation. Again, this topic also goes very deep. Especially the seven consciousnesses. This is, I could talk 3, 4, 5, 6 hours only about that. Yeah, this is maybe a task coming for later.